Everyone, Zeddy here again with yet another March of the Lich King review. 6 in the morning. We did one at 10 o'clock last night. That's right. We never sleep because we got Hearthstone cards to cover, including every single priest card has been revealed, all 8 of them, and everybody's favorite archetype is back. Resurrect Priest. It's not Big Priest though, but yes, Resurrect Priest is back, and also Priest got card draw. They actually got more card draw. What is happening to Hearthstone? Anyways, we'll go into all the cards. Before we do that, of course, we have, did you guys know we have a giveaway going on of 3 mega bundles out of my pocket, 2 regular pre-orders out of my pocket. All you have to do is like and comment on the video in the description below, subscribe to the channel. We are at 800 subs away from 61K. If you guys want me to add 1 more mega bundle to that giveaway, you got to hit that sub button because the deadline is this Saturday for basically, you know, my giveaway, adding another mega bundle. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. Anyways, let's take a look at, well, Big Priest cards. Well, not Big Priest, Res Priest. Starting off with Animate Dead. 1 mana shadow spell, so this can go into Shadow Priest if you really want. Resurrect a friendly minion that costs 3 or less. So Radiant Elemental, right? You want to get Radiant Elemental back, do shenanigans. You can play this in like a more aggro strategy with like cheap death rattles, right? Like a Leper Gnome or the 3 mana 4/3 that dies and pushes face damage, or just undeads, because you're going to want to try and bring undeads back. That's a big theme of Priest. We'll see in a bit. This is a really potentially scary card because, well, we have that new Priest legendary that discovers a shadow spell, and all of a sudden I can bring a Radiant Elemental back, Elemental back, and all of a sudden that thing is 0 mana. I'm going like infinite, and it can discover more Animate Deads and just go absolutely ham. There's real shenanigans for this card. I am not going to undersell a 1 mana res card, targeted res card, and yeah, I'm gonna give this a 4 to 5 in standard. I just see shenanigans. I see this card and I see shenanigans and like a Boon Priest, all that type of stuff. It's scary. It's not Discover 1 though. Seems to be just random, like, so you have to be selective with it, but still, I see shenanigans. I'm gonna give it a 3 to 5 in standard. Did I say a 4 to 5 already? I don't know. You know, it's not that insane. 3 to 5 in standard, 2 to 5 in wild. We'll go with that. Okay. Well, let's stick with that. Although even like Inner Fire Priest might be able to use this in wild. Get Crab Rider back over and over, or whatever. Who knows? Next, we have the Bone Caller, a 4 mana 2/4 taunt minion death rattle. Resurrect a friendly undead that died this game, and that can be anything. That could be a large undead. That could be a little one. It's an annoying taunt. It's sticky, and it works really well with the legendary minion we're going to take a look at the very end. Really annoying card. This deck is going to be very annoying, and I just think it's a solid addition to that style of deck where you're just bringing stuff back over and over. You can amulet this, right? You know, trade that amulet, get it back, and get a whole board of Bone Callers that will keep resurrecting stuff and be really sticky, very frustrating. Again, I'm not super sold on it being like insanely good, but I think it's solid. So again, 3 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild. We have the Haunting Nightmare, 3 mana 3/3 undead. So this can be one of the undeads you bring back. Death Rattle. Haunt a card in your hand. When you play it, summon a 3/3 soldier. So whatever card in your hand, and it doesn't have to be a minion, it could be a spell, could be a weapon, you know, Dragon Soul, Baroken. You could get that back, and then boom, you get another 3/3 on the board, and that's pretty good. And this as well could be resurrected. That's pretty good. This deck just seems extremely annoying, and it's gonna be littering the board with stats all the time. And typically stats don't matter a ton in Hearthstone, but when there's stats that just never go away, well, that becomes pretty good. So again, I think this whole undead package, it seems playable to me. Again, it doesn't seem like OP or crazy, but it seems playable to me. So again, I'm gonna give this a 3 to 5 in standard, a 2 out of 5 in wild. I don't think this stuff's gonna fly in wild at all. I just don't. There's way better stuff to do in my opinion. Here's another undead with Death Rattle. So again, sticky and annoying. Mind Eater, 2 mana 3/2 Death Rattle. add a copy of a card in your opponent's deck to your hand. So this is undead. You can get a bunch of value. And again, you can resurrect these, keep bringing them back, and get a bunch of value, which is really annoying. It's premium statted, tribal, solid card. Again, I know I'm going to be a broken record with the 3 out of 5s, but that's how I feel about this archetype. And this is one of those cards that's just gonna do well unless your opponent's in fatigue, right? They don't have cards in their deck, Zeddy. This card's terrible. When do we play fatigue games in Hearthstone unless they play the jailer? And if they play the jailer, the game's over one way or the other, right? So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 again in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild. Ridiculous value. Again, you can bring it back. It's got the death rattle tag. Although there is some anti-synergy, I will say, with like the death rattle tag if you're looking at the amulet. Like you really want to bring back Bone Color, but you might bring back one of these cards. But again, is that terrible? Not really. You're getting value, you're getting bodies, all that good stuff. And this card is not a 3-star card. This is Grave Digging, a 4-mana shadow spell. Draw 2 cards, so, you know, 4-mana draw 2, not great. However, it costs 1. If a friendly undead died after your last turn, so if it died, I believe that's like your last turn as well as if you like trade one off this turn or whatever, that's 4-mana draw 1. Or sorry, 1 mana draw 2. I mixed up the mana. You know what I'm trying to say. And yes, 1 mana draw 2. Historically, pretty good. The condition on it, not really that hard to achieve, especially when you have like a million undeads that are never going away. Like this is always going to be 1 mana draw 2 in that archetype, and even not in that archetype, you can play like maybe a control shell that runs a decent amount of undeads, and you're getting 1 mana draw 2. And the way Priest lacks draw, they might even, some decks might even run it as 4 mana draw 2. It's a possibility. To me, this is a 4-star card in standard. It's going to see play for sure if undead decks are a thing at all, or you're playing undead minions whatsoever. It's a really good card. Really good card. Close to 5-star if it was like every deck could run it, but it does need that undead touch. So I will give it a 4 out of 5 in standard. And if there's anything that's going to make like undead playable in wild, maybe a 3 where you're running like an inner fire. I see it like it's an undead inner fire package. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 in wild because card draw is valuable there too. Priest doesn't have that much card draw even in wild. You have like Handmaiden, which is a standard card, and that's really it. So yeah, look out for this card. Really, really solid. We have Shadowward Undeath. So not death, undeath. 5 mana shadow spell. Shadow Priest getting a lot of stuff here. Deal 2 damage to all enemies, so Consecration for 1 more mana. If a friendly undead died after your last turn, deal 2 more. This is incredible in any of these undead decks. That is 5 mana Old Flame Strike that goes face. That's ridiculous, right? Why would you not want to play this in an undead deck? It's a great AoE. It's going to kill a lot of stuff by turn 5. Dealing 4. You can discover this, by the way, off the new legendary that lets you infinitely discover shadow spells, not from your deck like some idiot said earlier in a prior video, but still really solid card. Again, you need that undead synergy to make it work because 5 mana Consecration obviously not good enough, but a 5 mana Old Flame Strike, pre-buff Flame Strike that goes face, that's a solid card. Gonna give it a 4 out of 5 in standard. I think, again, really solid. What I envision for wild, I don't know. You can run this in like, you know, Benedictus Reno Priest, but I feel like you're not gonna have enough undeads to make that work. So I'm gonna give this 2 in wild. I see the undead thing in wild being more of a like I said, an inner fire style, like stick board minion strategy, and this will be a little bit too slow for that. But again, really, really solid card. Speaking of really annoying sticky minions, Undying Allies, a 0 mana shadow spell. After you play an undead this turn, give it reborn. So this is like the easiest spell ever to set up because it's 0 mana, and then you just play undeads and they get reborn and they come back with their death rattle. Why would you not want to play this with all these sticky undeads that have death rattles? They all come back with 1 health and you double dip on those death rattles, and you're also putting more stuff fueling your res pool for your taunt, as well as a legendary we're going to take a look at. Again, a really good card. There's just no downside to really playing it other than, yeah, if you don't have undeads to play, you only need to hit probably like 2 to make this feel worth it. Like 2 undeads is probably good enough 4-star card for me again. If this is like almost this entire priest package is focused on one thing, whereas like all these other classes get like half and half on one. Feel like it's all about the undeads, and I could definitely see this card working 4 to 5 in standard, 3 to 5 in wild, because it can go maybe more into that like aggro-ish strategy I'm thinking of. And then lastly, the big payoff card, the legendary high Cultus Basileth. It is a 5 mana, 3/5 legendary, meaning it's not undead. However, it has the battle cry of Resurrect, all friendly, undead that died after your last turn. So whatever's traded in this turn or died the prior turn, when everything's got reborn and all that, basically, if they finally answer your board, you're sticking all these annoying reborns all the time, they finally clear it, I'll just drop another one. And then it's got a bunch of death rattles, more value, more res effects, just obnoxious. I don't know how you're ever going to clear the board against Priest again if this is as good as it looks to me, because they're all cheap, they're all death rattle, and like you got card draw to go with it. I don't know how it kills you. That's the only thing, other than annoying you to death and just getting in perpetual chip damage. But still, I just don't know how you're clearing the board reliably. It's going to be crazy. And then you're getting value like out of your opponent's deck. There's shenanigans. I'm going 4 to 5 in standard again, 2 to 5 in wild because I feel it's too slow for wild, but still ridiculous cards. They're all about undead. And I feel like people are going to be, well, really annoyed if this is a playable deck. I don't know how fun it'll be to play. I feel like it's going to be really evil to play this, but you know how I feel about Priest and all of that. So there you go. There's 2 more batches of reveals today. I may do 1 video on them or 2. We'll see what's revealed, how spicy it is. So stay tuned. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.